सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ओम मंत्र नंबर 6। अरा इव रथनाभौ संहता यत्र नाड्यः एषोऽन्तश्चरते बहुधा जायमानः। ओमित्येवं ध्यायथ आत्मानं स्वस्ति वः पाराय तमसः परस्तात्। अरा इव रथनाभौ संहता यत्र नाड्यः स एषोऽन्तश्चरते बहुधा जायमानः। ओमित्येवं ध्यायथ आत्मानं स्वस्ति वः पाराय तमसः परस्तात्। Shruti says, where does Atma stay, as though some loke for upasana, for about Atma is given. Where is it? It is said, Ara iva rathanam. Just as all the spokes are connected to the hub or axle, similarly, yatra nadyaha samhataha, where all the blood vessels are clustered, are connected, like the spokes to the hub. All the blood vessels are connected, that is heart, our physical heart. It is a loke, like ears. This is the ears for the physical ears are as though placed to meditate upon the ear. So that in the heart, that physical heart, Shruti says, physical heart is the place for the mind where self moves, where eshaha antaratma, the self, antaratma means the self, charate, it moves. How? Bahuda jayamana, in various forms. Being born in various form, the self moves in this heart. What is the heart? Where all the blood vessels are clustered like the spokes that are clustered on the hub. And there, Om ityeva dhayatha atman. You meditate Om as a self. Meditate upon the self with the help of Omkara. Om ityeva, with the help of Omkara, you meditate on the self to realize the nature of the self. Swastivah paraya tamasah parastat. Tamasah paraya, to cross over, tamas means ignorance, to go beyond ignorance. May this be your path and may it be auspicious path. Tamasa, to grow over the ignorance, for crossing the ignorance, may there be auspicious end for you to go across ignorance. May the path be auspicious, and of course the end also is auspicious. He says, Rathanabha iva. Purusha, they say Purusha kridati, it sports. Bahuda jayamana. In other Shruti it is said kridati. Here it says it is born in many ways. Purusha is all pervasive and birthless, deathless. Where is the question of birth of a Purusha? But the ahankara is superimposed on Purusha. Like the snake is superimposed on the rope. So the self, when it is Shruti says the self charate, antaratma charate, the self moves. It means the obtaining self, the ignorant self here in the context. Bahuda jayamana, it is born as though, it assumes the status of waker, and in dream it assumes the status of dreamer. And when it sleeps, it assumes the status of sleeper. Bahuda means variety of ways, and in waking also, angry and frustrated and loving and caring and giving and jealous and sad and pained and all kinds of self. These are the various changes of the mind. These are the various moods of the mind, as you popularly call it. Different states of the mind. But the self being identified with the mind as though it becomes many. In other words, from the ultimate standpoint of view, the self assumes various roles of waker, dreamer, sleeper, avasthatraya sakshi. That sakshi itself becomes waker, dreamer, sleeper, and while waking, all different roles. Suddenly the brother is born, suddenly the father is born, husband is born. Looking at one woman from within, the husband is born. I become husband. That's called husband is born. And he sees his father. Suddenly the son is born. He sees his boss. The subordinate is born. He sees his subordinate. The boss is born. And in those interactions gets angry. So angry person is born. Hatred person, jealous person, frustrated person, sad person, which is often born. I am sad. So that is called Jayamana, as though born. It is not being born, but then it identifies with the mind. Therefore it keeps on assuming different status. Therefore it is said it is born. So Sukshma Sharira is Sukshma, you don't see. As I said, the doctor said, I have not operated the mind, But still, if you have to give a position to Sukshma Sharira, location, a sthanam, the heart is a sthanam for Sukshma Sharira. Why? The whole Sukshma Sharira is held together. All Panchamahabhutas, Indriyas, Karmendriyani, Gnanendriyani, Prana, etc. by Ahankara. When it dies, it takes the Sukshma Sharira and goes. When it is born, it comes with the Sukshma Sharira. And when a wise person dies, Ahankara not being there, Sukshma Sharira gets dissolved. Samashti Panchamahabhutas. Just as after death, this gross body gets dissolved, Panchamahabhutas held together in this form is because there is Ahankara inside. Then once the Ahankara leaves the body Agni merges into Samashti Agni, Vayu merges into Samashti Vayu, etc. Similarly, Sukshma Mahabhutas constitute the Sukshma Sharira. In the Sukshma Sharira, we have seen the definition in Tattva Bodha. All this is held in this form. Panch Mahabhutas are held in the form of Panch Gnanendriya, Panch Karmendriya, Prana, Mana, Buddhi, etc. They are all held together because of Ahankara. In case of wise person, when the ignorance is removed, Ahankara is destroyed. After the death, along like Sthula Sharira merging into Samashti, Sukshma Sharira also merges to Samashti. And therefore, the Sukshma Sharira's sthanam is Kendra, center is Ahankara. And generally Ahankara is referred as this. I did it. I am here. Like that. Nobody says, I am here. Tongue, I am here. Nobody says. So, even if it is something achieved cognitively, I did it, nobody says. Achieved emotionally, that I did it, no one says. By seeing also. Who saw this first? I saw it. Nobody says. I saw. So, the figuratively, for our understanding and upasana, this Sthula Sharira is a sthanam for Atma. Okay? The physical heart is imagined as a sthanam of Atma, and you meditate on Atma with the help of Omkara. Please understand. So, Prakruta Atma, obtaining Atma is Jiva. They call it Prakruta Atma. Saeva antascharate. Bahuda, it moves. Kruddha, Rushta, Shankaracharya writes, etc., etc. Which Atma? This is important. By simply chanting Omkar doesn't mean Yasmin Dyavantariksham, Yasmin Prithvi Dyavantariksham, Otam is that Atma in whom everything is woven as though, Tadetat Satyam, Tadamrutam, Tadvedda, that Atma is in Antakaran. So, Tam Dhayatha Om. So, by simply chanting Om, 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 nothing will happen. It's just a sound. People do that Om, Om, and now they make it musical also. Om, 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 they do that. And I saw that on YouTube there are Om meditation and with the background music. Om, Om. It may help you to quieten your mind for a moment, thought flow. It may, not necessary all the time. Meditation, Omkar meditation. The fellow, if he has too much of unconscious and unresolved issues, even while listening Om Om, there will be Om Om inside. Outside maybe it's very serene Omkara, but inside maybe fighting Omkara. See, there's Om Dhyayatha. Meditate upon Om means having studied from a teacher that Omkara is a symbol. Ekakshara Brahma is for Upasana, a symbol of Saguna Brahma as well as Nirguna Brahma. Amatra Omkara, that Lakshartha, and then you meditate. Then it will make some sense. Otherwise, simply Om Om Om, it doesn't give any phala except some concentration and maybe some purity. Or maybe Vairagya, as they say. But it doesn't give anything. So, Om Ittevam Dhyayatha Atmanam. Meditate Atma as Om. What is Om? Om is a symbol for Saguna and Nirguna Brahma. That means Atma is Ishvara, non-separate. Atma is Nirgunam Brahma. That meditation. Okay? As I said, and Atma is born again and again. How? When the Gata is created, Gatakasha is born. If it is 2 liter pot, 2 liter space, pot space is born. If it is 5 liter, then 5 liter pot space is born. As though born. Space is not born. It is not it being limitless. It cannot be born. It is beyond any limitations of time, space and objectivity. It is not born. But as though pot space is created. Like this, architects, they say, we create spaces. Drawing room space, bedroom space, family space, recreation space, we create. Other day I had been to their university. I said, you don't create space. If you think you are creating space, you have a lot of space here. You better understand. You are creating an apparent division in the space, which is apparent, as though you give an adjective, drawing room space, this space, that space. When an apartment is built, they keep building the floors straightway. Then you put different walls. This is A, 7A, and this is 7B, and 7C, and 7D, 4 apart. Again in the D you create subspace. This is drawing room and meeting room. You don't create space. As though divide. Your creation of space is like a potter creating a pot space. It doesn't create, apparent. So also Atma Bahuda Jayamana, it doesn't become angry. It doesn't become sad it doesn't become jealous as though due to the identification with the antahkaranam, different vrittis that it identifies, because of that identification, it appears as though born. You know, there is a chapter in Nataka Deepa Prakarana, Panchadashi. The dancers, bhava, all the gestures, you get so identified that such bhavas come to your mind. Similarly, it is as though bahuda jayamana, being born in many ways, karta, angry, happy, etc., because of changing mind, you know. Understand Brahman to be the lakshya of Omkara, first, from a teacher. Understand it properly. Otherwise, as I said, Om is a simple sound, and which simple sound doesn't enlighten you. The Shruti says, Om ityevam dhyayatha. By dhyana, let this be what? Tamasah parastat. Let this be for path for you to cross over ignorance. So simple sound Omkara doesn't let you cross the ignorance. Only thing is, as Swamiji would say, agitated idiot becomes a quiet idiot, but idiot continues. Formally, he was agitated idiot, with meditation become quiet idiot. Ignorance doesn't go. So, Omkara is to be looked upon that. And by the way, they say Nada Brahma, meditate on Nada Brahma, etc. That is because the first creation, Mayas, after Maya came into play, Tasmad va etasmad atmanah akasha sambhuta. Akasha is born. Then Vayu, then Agni, then Jala and Prithvi. And the guna, quality of the sound, Akasha is sound. So Shabda is a guna of the Akasha, and therefore they say Nada Brahma. First is Nada. And there is a saying in that from our Shanti Mantra prayers also, Omkarascha Shabdascha Dvavimau Kantham Bhitva Viniryato Tasmad Dvavimau Mangalikau Purau. He says when Brahmaji was born, the first thing he said, Om Atha. So it is auspicious. Omkara itself is auspicious. And Omkara is the first sound, they say. Shastra says. And therefore, Omkara, sometimes you begin with Om, Atha, etc. Even Gita also says, Om Tat Saditi Nirdesha Brahmana Trivida Smruta. So that is Nirdesha. It is implied. How it is implied, you have to study from a teacher and then meditate. So, Om Iti, the Iti is important. Look at Brahman as, look at Om as Brahman. Look at Om as Atma. Which Atma? Yasmin Dev Chantariksham Cha Prithvi Otam Cha. Everything, all pervasive Atma. Look at Omkara as that. Just as Shaligrama Vishnu. Look at Shaligrama as a Vishnu. Or look at Vishnu as a Ishvara. Shivlinga as Ishvara. So this is deliberate adhyasa given by Shruti. We look upon this in this form and thereby appreciate what it is ultimately. But you have to study. By simply saying Om, Om, it is Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, it won't lead to anything. It may create an ego, Aham Brahmasmi. The fellow becomes more emotional to Brahman. That means more subjective. You have to be objective first to understand Brahman. That's Vairagi. There is a question of becoming further subjective. So, Shravana Manana is necessary and then meditate. Then Shruti continues, next mantra, Yas Sarvagna Sarvavit. Let us look at that mantra now. Let's see mantra number 6. Sorry, mantra number 7. Yas Sarvagna Sarvavit. Yas Sarvagna Sarvavit. Yasyaisha Mahima Bhuvi. Yasyaisha Mahima Bhuvi. Divye Brahmapure Hyesha. Divye Brahmapure Hyesha. Vyomnyatma Pratisthitah. व्योम्यात्मा प्रतिष्ठितः मनोमयः प्राणशरीरनेता मनोमयः प्राणशरीरनेता प्रतिष्ठितोऽन्ये हृदयम् सन्निधाय तद्विज्ञानेन परिपश्यन्ति धीराः आनन्दरूपममृतं यद्विभाति once more यः सर्वज्ञः सर्ववित् यस्यैष महिमा भुवि यः सर्वज्ञः सर्ववित् यस्यैष महिमा भुवि दिव्ये ब्रह्मपुरे ह्येष व्योम्यात्मा प्रतिष्ठितः दिव्ये ब्रह्मपुरे ह्येष व्योम्यात्मा प्रतिष्ठितः मनोमयः प्राणशरीरनेता प्रतिष्ठितोऽन्ये हृदयं सन्निधाय तद्विज्ञाने परिपश्यन्ति धीराः आनन्दरूपममृतं यद्विभाति Some interpretation is, these are two different mantras, 7 and 8, and some make it 7. One half mantra is Yas Sarvagna Sarvavit Yasya Gnanamayam Tapaha. Yas Sarvagna Sarvavit Yasya Gnanamayam Tapaha Yasyaisha Mahima Bhuvi Divye Brahmapure Hyesha Vyomni Atma Pratishtitaha. Generally, Sarvagna and Sarvamit means all-knowing. Here, when the two words are used together, Sarvagna, one who knows everything in general, Sarvavit, one who knows everything in details. Yasyaisha Mahima Bhuvi, Eshaha, Bhuvi Mahima, Yasya. This is his glory in the world. What is the glory that we'll see? The whole world itself is a glory, and few things of the world are enumerated as his glory. And then, Divye Brahmapure Hyesha Vyomni Atma Pratishtitha, the self-evident self, where it abides in Brahmapuri, in the abode of Buddhi, in the abode called Buddhi, in the heart cave, they say. It abides in the heart cave, in the Buddhi, and which is conscious. Brahmapure, Divye, that conscious Buddhau, Saha Bhati Vibhati. Then the next mantra is, altogether, Manomayah Prana Sharira Neta, the self which has a mind, Manomayaha, as an Upadi, and which leads to subtle body, is the basis for Buddhi. And it abides pratisthite anne means sthula sharire, hridayam sannidhaya, okay, with the basis, sannidhaya, basis of buddhi, that abides in the physical body, okay, which leads the subtle, manomaya prana sharira neta. Prana sharira neta means which leads the subtle body, that Atma, which has a mind as a upadhi, that Atma, and that Atma which has a basis as a buddhi, that Atma abides in a anne, abides in a sthula sharira. It abides in the sthula sharira. Tad vijnanena paripashyanti dhiraha. Tasya vijnanena, having known which, he says, by viveka, paripashyanti, clearly they recognize what Anandam Amrutam Brahma. They recognize that Brahman which is Ananda, that Brahman which is happiness, limitless, of the nature of limitless, that Brahman which is immortal, and Yad Vibhati, which is conscious. They recognize that Brahman as a self. Okay? So this is the translation of these two mantras. Okay. Tad Vijnanena Vibhati Paribhati Brahma. Okay. Now, Yas Sarvagna Sarvavit. Sarvam Janati iti Sarvagnaha. And Sarvavit, Sarvam Janati Visheshana. So, when these two words are there, Sarvagna means Samanyena Janati. Samanyena means Swarupataha Sarvam Janati. And Sarvavit Visheshataha Sarvam Janati. It knows everything in details. There is no ignorance whatsoever that is left over. That means it is said, there are twofold ignorance, Mula Vidya and Tula Vidya. These are all just technical words. Mula Vidya means the self-ignorance. And Tula Vidya means the ignorance about the details of the things and the beings that you perceive and that you hold it as a upadhi. So, so you know everything in details. So, wise person can be called as Sarvagnaha. But only Ishvaraha is Sarvavit. Means he knows everything in detail. Just as, suppose there is a goldsmith shop, jewelry shop, and there are 100 ornaments made out of gold. And you say to him that I want to purchase golden ornament. It may have silver ornaments. It may have Madras jewelry, as they call it, fake gold, they say. So, you may go to that section where there are ornaments made out of gold only. So, you also know, hopefully, the goldsmith is telling the truth, that everything is gold. So, that is called Sarvagna. You know everything in details. Everything in general. This is all is gold. Then what is Sarvavit? Sarvavit is a one who knows everything in detail. How many earrings and how many nose rings and how many bangles and how many chains and what is the weight and what is the price and what is the design. All details are known. So, Brahman or the Ishvara is Sarvavit. It knows everything. Human mind can never know everything in detail. Why? Because of the limitations of the mind itself. Just as this body, being a upadhi, is limited in time, limited in Shakti, in its power, in its capacities. So also mind is also an upadhi and it is a maya karyam. So it is limited. You can know only few things, not everything in detail. A wise person, when it is said he or she is Sarvagna, it doesn't mean he or she knows everything in detail. Bhagavan knows everything in detail because he has a Maya Upadhi. Please note, Bhagavan does not require mind to be Sarvavit. He is a Sarvavit before mind, without mind. See, to create something, one should have knowledge of that thing to be created. And if the knowledge rests on mind, that means mind is already created for Bhagavan. Somebody has created. Before the creation process began, Bhagavan had all the knowledge. in detail. If he needed mind, that means somebody had created mind and given him the mind. And then mind itself becomes Maya, because it has to have Sarvagna, means it has to be limitless. So that's not a case. Bhagavan doesn't require Antahkaranam to know everything in detail. Without Antahkaranam, he knows everything in detail. That is called all-knowing. Sarvavit Ishvaraha. So, Ishvara can be Sarvavit because he doesn't have neither Mula Vidya or Tula Vidya. Neither of the Avidyas are there in Ishvara, and he knows without mind, because creation has not begun. The very Mayopadhi itself is enough for Ishvara. When he invokes Maya, moment that Brahman invokes its Maya, he becomes all knowing and all powerful, omniscient, omnipotent. And that is why that same Brahman with Mayopadhi can be referred as Ishvara, as Sarvagna Sarvavit. When you say Brahman is Sarvagna Sarvavit, it is from the standpoint of view of Mayopahita Chaitanya. When Brahman is endowed with that Maya Shakti, the ready to create, so that Brahman, because of Mayopadhi, becomes Sarvavit. Okay? In other words, the individual or a wise person has a Vyasti Upadhi, a limited Upadhi. Whereas Brahman, when it invokes the Maya, it has Samashti Upadhi. Since it has Samashti Upadhi, it has Samashti Gnanam. Ishvara knows that everything is Brahman, and he knows details of each and everything that was created, that is being created, and that will be created. That's what Bhagavan says in the 4th chapter to Arjuna. Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacharjuna tanyaham veda sarvani natvam vetha parantapa. Hey Arjun, tani aham vetha tvam na vetha. You don't know, I know, because aham sarvavit. I am endowed with samashti upadhi called Maya, and therefore aham sarvavit. Wise person knows that the adhishthanam of the entire Jagat is Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma. That Aham Asmi. I am the very substratum of the entire creation. But doesn't know everything in detail. Just because you become wise, you cannot know all the languages of computer languages. You may know some languages here and there, French and German and some Tamil and Malayalam or Telugu or Kannadiga or Haryanvi, whatever, Punjabi. But you cannot know all the computer languages and all computer programming. Nobody can know it, because it is a Vyasti Upadhi. There is a limitations of the Upadhi, thereby one can never ever come to know. By knowledge, mind doesn't become limitless. Okay? It is like a wave, is limited in shape and size and form. Once it knows I am the water, it knows the entire ocean. You can say wave is Sarvagna. What all the waves are nothing but H2O. That is known to that wave. But that doesn't mean this wave knows what is the size of the wave near East Coast in America, and what is the size of the wave in Africa, near Africa, South Africa. It doesn't know. What is the size of the wave in Mauritius? What are the sizes of the waves on the sea near England and France and etc.? It doesn't know this. It just cannot know, and it doesn't know, because when it knows I am H2O, its upadhi doesn't become limitless. Upadhi remains limited. So it becomes Sarvagnaha, natu Sarvavit. Yas Sarvagna. Yasya Esha Mahima Bhuvi. Bhuvi in this earth, in this creation, this is whose glory, This is whose glory. What is the glory of the Brahman? The Bhashyakara very nicely tells you. Yasya yesha prasiddho mahima vibhuti. His glory is well known. It is well known. I would like to say it is very evident, provided you see. We don't see that glory. We just gloss over. We just overlook the things. We just take the things for granted. Mahima, His glory is so evident. But as I said, we just gloss over. What is the Mahima? What is its glory? He says, Yasya ime dhyava prithivyav shasane vidrute tishtataha Surya Chandramasau yasya shasane alat chakravat ajastram brahmataha. He says, Shankaracharya ji says, quotes a vakya. Yasya ime yasya shasane, under whose shasanam, under whose rule, because of his rule, Dhyava prithivyav vidrute tishtataha. Ime, this heaven and this earth and all other lokas are vidrute, are held in the space. They are hanging in the space without a string attached to the roof. Your fan can hang in the roof. And some people have some light things, that they may hang in the room to give light to the room. But then there is a string or a chain that is attached to the ceiling. In this space, total space, the Swarga, Prithvi and all other lokas are just hanging. That is His glory. Prashasane, that is His power. They just don't move, even though it is moving. Prithvi is moving. It's moving on its own axis, round and round and round. And while moving on the axis also, it is moving around the sun. What a powerful ruler it is. The ruler is controlling the earth. So there is not an error of millionth of a second in the movement of the earth. Thereby, you have to change the time. Daylight saving, you have to change your clocks and then rechange it after some time. Come back to that original time. It doesn't happen. It remains. There is you can say it's so precise, like engineering precision. There is no error of millionth of a second in a year. The prashasanam. Shasanam means rule. Whereas prashasanam, very well ruled, very well controlled, very well managed. Not only earth moves around the sun, the distance between the earth and sun also remains the same. It moves on an axis, therefore day and nights are fixed, and it moves on around the sun, therefore seasons are fixed. Just by the way, our rishis were so great. Our astrology, we have a panchangam. You can get a panchangam for next 100 years. And in that panchangam, they can mention what will be the sunrise time and what will be sunset time without this modern astrophysics and without this modern astrotechnology, these Hubble and Bubble telescopes whereby you can see the things. Rishis knew this. The movements of the grahas, movements of the nakshatras, they all knew it very well. So that panchangam. Anyway, yasya prasasane, yasya ime dhyava prithivyav shasane vidrute tishtata. As though they are held at a particular place, in a particular position, and they have a particular movement. That is its glory. In India we have had, in Gujarat, I have had few restaurants. They call it rotating restaurant. On 20th floor or 30th floor, the restaurant floor keeps moving round and round and slowly. to move that blessed thing, they required a horsepower engine motor, more than 50 to 100 horsepower engine motor to keep it moving. Imagine the weight of the earth and imagine the movement of the earth, that too in a space. How much horsepower Bhagavan would require? And where did he produce that power, electricity? That is a power you don't see, but it is there, which keeps the earth rotating, Yeah. Yesterday, as I said, the heart keeps pumping the blood for itself and for the entire body. What a machine. You eat the food, it eats, it pumps and gets energy, clean blood for itself, and it provides the blood for the whole body, and recycling, cleaning the blood keeps on happening every moment. There is no break, no maintenance, Once you are born, it goes on pumping and pumping and pumping till you die. And in spite of the fact that some people abuse it, but still it continues to do the job without any respite. What a machine, as we call it, Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India. So Bhagavan has created self-reliant body system. So also self-reliant solar system. Earth, some power it gets, whereby it moves on its own axis and around the sun, and that gravitational force keeps them at an equidistance. Sun has a gravitational force, earth has a gravitational force. That force is maintained for millennia. If sun forces increases or the earth forces decreases, it will be pulled toward the sun. And there would not be any life. You cannot survive. Would create tremendous ecological changes, but never happens. And if earth power increases, then again changes, but then it doesn't happen. Prashasana. He is Sarva Shaktivan, Ishvara. Sarvagna, he knew that this much force would be required, gravitational force, to keep them at an equidistance, to keep them at a fixed distance between each other, and the size of the sun being what it is, size of the earth being what it is. Prashasanam. Yes, this is a Mahima. Shankaracharya says, Yasya sasane saritah sagarascha swagocharam na atikramanti. The earth and the sun doesn't go beyond its orbit, exist within its own place. Similarly, he says, Yasya prashasana. Surya Chandra Masau Yasya Shasane Alata Chakravat Ajasram Brahmataha. Surya Chandra Masau, the sun and the moon and the stars, all of them, they are moving in their own orbit, at their own pace, and in their own place. So many things are moving in the galaxy, and there is a fixed movement that Ishvara maintains that movement, Alata Chakravata. There is a toy where you fire around a circle is there, and you keep the 3, 4 fire lamps, and you keep rotating the circle. That means it looks like a fire ring. Like that fire ring, they keep on moving in their own orbit and in their place. Acha. And he says, Yasya shasane sagaraha saritascha swagocharam na atikramanti. And because of whose prashasanam, whose rule, whose control, the oceans and the rivers don't cross their boundaries. There is never a flood in the ocean. Otherwise, some areas on the beach would have emerged, and there is no drought that the ocean went away. No. High tide and low tide is fixed. Movements is up to this point only. There is a maryada, limitation. See, that one thing you should note, not only ocean and rivers, every other living being is instilled with some maryada, some limits. They never cross those limits. Like a dog or a cat or a cow or a lion or a buffalo, there is a maryada. What is maryada? Lion has been given maryada. He is given maryada. What? That you should not eat anything vegetarian food. So we have one Asiatic lion near the place where I live near Rajkot. Only 2 places in the world, in Africa and Gujarat, they find that. And from the same area, we have very delicious mangoes called kesar mango, very sweet. However hungry the lion may be, he never tastes. Today I didn't get the prey and I am too hungry, let me finish. Let me have my dinner with this kesar mangoes. Never, maryada. It will never cross. And once it has killed the prey, it will never kill another and store it for tomorrow. I may require in future. It never crosses. So also the cow has a maryada. It will never be non-vegetarian. However hungry it may be, but it will never touch the meat, As Puja Swami Dayanji would say. This cow was passing through in the street. You find so many cows in the street in India. And now India also we have KFCs and there's our all those American brand eateries. So there was a hamburger or hot dog lying outside. Somebody ate it and threw it. The cow smelt it and just ate the 2 pieces of the bread, but what was inside, she left it for human. Swamiji would say. It would never touch the meat, McDonald's. It just left it. That's a maryada. Every living creature has a maryada. And Bhagavan has instilled in them bhayam. They are afraid. Therefore, they remain in maryada. Even this buffalo is so big, but it is afraid of human being holding a stick. That is a bhayam. So that is Ishvara Srushti. That it has kept maryada. Na swasva gocharam na atikramanti. They don't cross their boundaries. They remain within the boundaries. And then he says, Tatha stavaram jangamam cha yasya sasane niyatam. Okay? Yasya sasane, in whose rule? Stavaram jangamam cha. Those with the objects which are in motion and the objects which doesn't have motion, they don't cross. You don't find mountains and hillocks walking around, getting into streets. It doesn't happen. Suddenly it took for a morning walk on a highway and thought, I am too tired, let me take a stop, halt over here. It doesn't happen. So, all the sthavaraha jangamamscha, all the objects which don't have any motion and objects with motion don't move around. Acha, tathacha, artavaha ayane abdascha yasya shasanam na atikramanti. Rutavaha, the seasons also don't change. Nowadays you find a change, but that is also an order. That is a disturbed order. That ecological change, that you disturbed it, and therefore they are tathacha ratavaha ayane abdasya yasya shasanam na atikramati. To Uttarayana, Dakshinayana, the movement of the sun, appearance of the movement, actually tilting of the earth, because of which you find the sun as though moves in the southern hemisphere and sun as though moves in the northern hemisphere. But it is his prashasana. So three things about the earth: it moves on its axis. While moving on its axis, it keeps moving around the sun, and at a proper time it tilts. It is tilted, not a tilt, but it being tilted. You get these different seasons. So winter and summer, etc. Abdaha, days and night are fixed. There is 24 hours fixed, and in North Pole and South Pole in winter days are longer, nights are shorter. All that is fixed, Not only that, he says, Tatha kartaraha karmani phalam cha yat shasanat swam kalam nati vartante sa esha mahima bhuvi loke yasya sa esha sarvagna evam mahima devaha. This is important. Yasya shasana, by his rule, by its niyamas. Karmani karta yasya sashane kartaraha karmani phalam cha. There is a law of karma and karma phala. Law of dharma. These laws which shape the result. You perform a result, it shapes the result. That is inbuilt, that you will get the result in this way, at this time, at this place, under these conditions. That law, karma, phala, niyamas are infallible and they are impartial. That works. When you get karma, phala for your own karmas done by you in the past, you get now, and one will certainly get the karma phala in future for the karmas that he or she is doing now, the human being with a sense of doership. So Bhagavan says, karmani karta cha phalam. It connects. There is a beautiful shloka in Mahimna Stotra. Krutau supte jagrat tvamasi phala yoge kratumatam karma pradvastam phalati purusharadhanamrute atastvam samprekshya kratushu phaladhanam pratibhuvam shutau shraddham badhva dhradaparikara karma sujanah. Krutau supte jagrat. When the karma is over, karta doesn't know. I, the doer, doesn't know what will be the result. I expect the result to come at this time, now only, etc. But then I don't know what will be the result. And I have forgotten completely what the result be in the next Janma. But in next Janma, he connects, Bhagavan connects that karma phala with a given karta who had performed such and such an action in previous lives, and it gets the phala. Tvam jagratamasi. Even when the pralaya takes place, this you should understand, when everything is resolved into unmanifest state, because of the limitations of the language, we say, when the kala comes, when there is a kala for utpatti, when it's a time to create, Bhagavan starts creation. But when everything is resolved, when we say everything, it includes time and space as well. Time is resolved. Time is in bijavastha, in a seed form. Space is also in a seed form. All the things are in seed form. Then where is time? That Bhagavan is Kala. The clock of karma phala is ticking. And as per the Vyasti and Samashti karma phalas, when they are prematured, he starts creating the world. And therefore it says kartaram, and the person, all karta and the karma phala are connected. Pralaya samaya also jivas are in bijavastha. Bhagavan starts creation. That bijavastha jivas are given subtle bodies, and they start manifesting subtle body and gross bodies. and they start interacting in the gross world and gain new karmas and karma phalas. That is one at pralaya time. Even while this creation is on, Karta gets some punya, good karma phala, and Karta gets some unpleasant karma phalas in this existing life. He or she doesn't know what caused this, but you get it. It connects the karma phala at a proper time to Karta, who was a Karta, now he becomes a Bhokta, and he or she gets that karma phala, whether he wants it or not, he likes it or not, he or she expected it or not, it just comes to you. Because that is how Ishvara is, He suddenly fellow gets a heart attack and dies. That's a karma phala. Suddenly fellow gets some business deal and makes a lot of money. That's a karma phala. Ishvara keeps that karma phala as though with him. And when it is ready, ripened like a fruit, just as the farmer will pluck only the ripe fruits. When the karma phala is ripe, Ishvara connects to that given karta. Nishchit samaya, fixed time, fixed situation, and a particular person is given. Yasya Esha Mahima. This is his glory. Who? The one who is Sarvagna Sarvavid, one who is all-knowing in general and all-knowing in detail. One who is free from Mula Vidya and Tula Vidya. There is no ignorance at all, not even an iota of ignorance in him, whatever it is, that that Ishvara. Ishvara is a status, incidental status given to Brahman. When it invokes it, Maya Shakti. So the Bhagavad Pada Bhashyakara uses both these words, sometimes Brahman, sometimes Ishvara. So that Ishvara, who is Sarvagna Sarvavit, this is his glory of the Brahman through Maya Upadhi. That is the incidental status that it has. Okay. We shall continue further in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Namaste to all of you.